And now for something completely different.
Welcome to Cinematic Relief, a Thunder Lightning podcast. Sorry, for a second I didn't realize. I thought we weren't recording. Chris, what's up?
Nothing much. Just watched a movie that's already on the screen, probably.
Probably. Well, I usually, if you watched Cinematic Relief, you'd know that I don't put the movie up until I mention the movie title, which is Paul. Right now, now it's on the
Yeah.
screen. We watched Paul. It's from 2011. It stars Simon Pegg and Nick Frost and Kristen Wiig and Seth Rogen, and it's a comedy
Yeah.
about space.
Yeah.
Chris has seen it before, right?
Yeah.
This was my first time viewing it.
For those of you who have never seen the movie, the basic outline is a couple of nerdy English guys who are Simon Pegg and Nick Frost go
Wait.
to San Diego Comic-Con, and they have a road trip on the way back, and they find an alien named Paul, and then watch the movie from there.
Yeah, what was their goal? Do a road trip and then just get on a plane and then go back to...
Yeah,
Like,
they
they
were
can't-
what they said, and I actually caught it for the first time this time watching it, was they were following Comic-Con.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I see. That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, I feel like it would, I know there's like subtle differences everywhere, but I feel like that would get old after like 3 cons.
Well, I mean, different guests, you'd think.
True.
But, you know, if... To bring it to real life for a second, if the guests between Dallas and Boston each year are anything to attest to it, they're probably pretty similar.
Yeah.
I thought they were literally just like, and then we'll do all this, and then we'll fly home because we can't road trip to London.
Well, that was my thought until this viewing of it, and he said something following Comic-Con. I was like, oh, they're literally just they're following Comic-Con. Like it's a band.
Yeah. That'd be the whole summer.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Into the fall.
Yeah. But yeah, so I guess you start. How do you like this film?
It definitely wears on me over time. It was great the first time I saw it, and this time I was just kind of like, all right.
Yeah.
Then we're going to do the podcast.
I think it's just old. I think comedy movies deteriorate faster than like not comedy movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Either that or they stand the test of time forever, like Clue.
Okay.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
here's the thing, too, is I love Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
Yeah.
You've seen the 2 best Simon Pegg and Nick Frost movies.
Well,
right?
I
You've
think-
seen Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz.
And I think the reason they're the best is because they also had Edgar Wright.
Oh, sure.
Because this was so very clearly not an Edgar Wright film.
Yeah. See, to me, this is maybe the 3rd or 4th best. I think there's only like 4 Simon Pegg and Nick Frost films.
There's these 3. There's the End of the
The
World.
End of the World.
One. I've never
Yeah.
seen that one.
Tavern at the End of the World or whatever.
Yeah, the one where it's like robots or whatever.
I've seen that one. That one was crazy.
Is that it? Is it just those 4?
That I can't think of another one.
Me either. I think there is one though.
Well, there's clearly 2 front runners,
Mm.
and you've seen them both.
Yeah.
So, if you like Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, I'd give this movie a watch.
Oh no, it was worth a watch.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's my basic. I've seen this movie maybe 4 times now. That's my view of it. Is I've seen it. I remember all the jokes.
Yeah.
The end. What was your thoughts first time watching it?
So, like I said, this is a comedy movie. I mean, I assumed this going into it, but it was true that it was just like some stuff was pretty funny, but most of the stuff was like, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna laugh at that, but I get it.
Yeah.
There's the joke. Bill Hader and couldn't for the life of me remember that other actor's name were great.
Mm-hmm.
They were a pleasant surprise because I knew about everybody except them and Kristen Wiig going into this film. Like I
Yeah.
knew Jason Bateman and Sigourney Weaver were going to be in it and stuff like that. There was something it went away. What am I trying to say? As I was watching the film, like when they introduced the alien Paul, who's voiced by Seth Rogen, something about him that I couldn't quite put my finger on. I was like, this is weird. And I thought maybe it was because the CGI was not up to 2019 snuff.
Is it because he was wearing pants?
No, it's just I think what it was is the voice.
The Seth Rogen voice
Yeah.
coming out of an alien.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they made a alien that sounds and acts like Seth Rogen, but not one that looks like Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
Obviously, because it's an alien, but like it doesn't even look like an alien that Seth Rogen would voice.
Right.
Does that make sense?
No, I know exactly
it was just like
what
the
you mean.
stereotypical like gray design, the
Yeah.
gray alien, and
Which
even
they
make
had
a
a point for.
Yeah, they
in the
even like
film.
they even talk about that, which was that part was cool. But I was just like, it went away halfway through the movie, but I was just like, this is weird. But I mean, to the CGI's credit, there were a couple scenes where I was like, oh, that looked very good. Like
Yeah.
there was a scene at the end where Kristen Wiig hugged the alien. I was like, that looked pretty good.
Yeah.
It's hard to have real things touch fake things and have
Right.
it look real.
Right. No, I thought the CGI held up pretty well. I mean, obviously Paul would look a lot better if it was today. But like that scene with the eye, I really like how they cloud his eye like he's blind for a second.
Yeah.
That looked really
Yeah.
good. Do we want to talk about the best lines in this film, or are we not going to mention them?
I mean, we have to. We have to. We shouldn't, but we have to because it was
Oh,
so
man.
good. Here's the deal. I'm gonna get a little philosophical for a second. There's words that
Yeah.
shouldn't be said,
No.
like because either they're too offensive or too derogative or racist or what have you. Just some words that should never be said. And then there's the transcendence of that, which is the beautiful language that is the English language. And a man in this film wove together a few choice words that separately I would never say, but when put together made maybe the most beautiful sentence I've heard in months. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was, but I'm not going to do it out loud. No, I've got it. It was, here it comes. I'm going to say this once,
Okay.
and I'm not going to say it again.
All right.
This is, have the kids leave the room. He says, it's these two biker guys,
Yeah.
and
Trucker.
trucker,
Same
yes,
idea.
right. And they have a, what did you just call it? The truck they drive? Oh, did you not?
I didn't say anything.
They drive a truck, and the main characters bump into their truck and like bang it up, and then for like half the movie they go away, and then they run into them. And do you want to say it? It seems
no,
like you
no.
want to say it.
I don't want to say it. How does it seem? No, you go ahead. You say it.
You're just so excited.
I know what you're gonna say. I'm just
Yeah.
anticipating you saying it.
He says,
I'm curious if you say it right too.
Oh, I'm gonna say it right.
All right.
I just realized it goes unexplained too. Like
Yeah.
half of it. He says, "Those are the space faggots that dinged the fuckmobile,"
Oh my god.
which like
Oh, Jesus.
it goes unexplained. Like I get it, I can fill in the blanks, but like, why is it called the fuckmobile?
There was
if that
nothing
wasn't-
special about the truck either.
No, if that wasn't apparent, that wasn't fuckmobile. Wasn't the part I was uncomfortable saying.
Oh man.
There was another cool line where the religious dude.
Yeah.
The Bill Hader government official was like, "This isn't your mission," and he was like, "I'm on a mission from God," and he was like, "Tell him you failed," and then he shot him.
That was. If it wasn't for that first line, that would have been the best line in the movie. I just couldn't believe it. That was just crazy. Oh man.
But yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I don't think I would watch it again.
Okay, that's fair.
It was definitely like, I don't know. There's making a good movie and then there's making a funny movie,
Yeah.
and sometimes those two can work together. And in 2019, it didn't quite work, but
Sure.
the making a good movie portion of it was pretty good. I liked
Okay.
this movie, but if they could like maybe redo this with like 50% less jokes, that I feel like I'd like that more.
Yeah.
Because
I
all the
can get
jokes were
behind
like,
that.
because like they were very Seth Rogen inspired jokes. Where
Yeah.
it was just like we're talking about things that are unrelated. Oh, now let's talk about drugs for a sec.
Right.
And now we're back to whatever. There was a part in this film where you explained it to me and it makes sense. I guess I just saw it incorrectly. Where it looks like Nick Frost's character is shot in the head, and then
Yeah.
he notices it, and he's like, "Oh, I was shot in the head," and I was like, "Oh, that's weird. Is it going to be a thing where he's an alien too, or some shit like that?" And then nothing. It never came back.
Yeah, but I mean, he's wearing an alien mask.
Yeah.
And if you look at the mask, the bullet clearly went right over. It didn't skim it, but it went through the very top of the mask. So I was like, it went. The mask was further up
Yeah.
than the end of his head, top of his
Yeah.
head.
No, it was just confusing.
I explained it so much better when we weren't on mic.
Yeah, and then I put you on the spot.
Yeah.
Sigourney Weaver was in this film because aliens
Yeah.
were involved. And
A lot of
she's
Star Wars jokes.
very many Star Wars jokes. The guy gets shot, and his Star Wars shirt gets ruined.
Yes.
And he said what we would say, because he said, "Oh man, I really like this shirt."
As he's dying.
Because I'm like, you've been dressing a lot nicer lately.
Oh, thank you.
I always go out and just like the T-shirt that's on the top of the pile.
I usually do too, but sometimes I like looking nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially now that we're putting ourselves in skits and I never know when we're going to film one.
Yeah. Next skit, I'm gonna be in a full suit. You piece of shit. I liked the twist. The twist was nice. The Jason Bateman was a good guy the whole time.
Yeah.
That got me.
I like that too. Yeah, that
It,
got me too when I
it-
watched it.
I didn't expect it,
That was good.
and it wasn't like, if the twist was that Nick Frost's character was an alien the whole time, I would
That
have
would
been
have
like,
been nuts.
I would have been like, really,
Yeah.
really,
That would have
but-
been nuts though, especially because he was the scared one the whole time.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't think I would have liked this movie if that was the
no.
if that was the
This
outcome.
movie didn't need a twist.
No,
'cause,
and it gave it a very subtle one,
Yeah,
and that was okay.
yeah. It didn't even linger on it that much.
No.
Like it wasn't even the main focus of that scene.
Right. No, it was a good movie. Unfortunately, not much to report now that we're.
Yeah,
Talking
now
about
that
it, I
I'm
feel
thinking
like-
about it.
But you know what that means? That leaves us plenty of time.
Oh, for a. You want one right now? I'm not ready.
Well, keep looking. We'll keep talking about Paul. You look.
Keep looking.
You got to sing this time
Can
though.
start looking. Yeah, I'll sing.
All right.
Fucker.
All right. Oh, that one. Oh man, I almost want to see if we can put it in this podcast. That one. See, he's got the gun pointed at him when they're coming out of the house. I was cracking up.
Oh. He just says freeze, motherfucker, but he
It's
says
just
it
the
in
way
like,
he
the
says
most Bill Hader voice ever. Are you opposed to doing a Roger Ebert critic corner on a movie you've never seen?
I don't care.
Okay. Keep going. I'm not going to
Oh.
sing quite yet.
Oh, okay. Well, I feel like the whole point of him he wants to interrupt me. That's why he wanted me
No,
to keep talking.
No, I promise. That's not why I said that.
You usually do with this stupid song, so now
Not
I'm
in the
just
middle
waiting
of a
for it.
sentence.
Now I'm just waiting for you to interrupt me with the song.
Listen. I look up the review. I gotta skim it to make sure there's some dank ass shit in there.
All right. Oh man, how are you people enjoying Cinematic Relief?
I'm enjoying it. I
That's
know you
good.
weren't talking to me, but I'm enjoying it.
I like it. I feel like we should start picking out our movies a little better, but besides that. And this one was my idea, so I'm not, not throwing any blame anywhere. Anthony.
Yeah, sorry.
But
It was not. Wait, no. Get fucked. This was your idea.
No, I know it was. That's what I said.
Oh, I thought you said this wasn't my idea.
No, it was my idea.
Oh, yeah. Like
Um,
I said, I'm
looking up some
I'm
good
I'm
stuff.
half paying attention to you.
That's all right. I feel like everybody who's listening to this is doing the same.
I gotta find a good one,
I hear you.
And I thought I did, but I don't know. I'm just gonna go with my gut. It's what I usually do, and we usually find gold.
Okay. I'm not complaining.
I'm not complaining either. I'm gonna make you wait for it though.
Okay. I mean, I'm the one who's seen the movie, so I'm still waiting to hear more from you.
So the DVD that I have came with the unrated and the theatrical version. And
Yeah.
we watched the theatrical version, and the unrated version's only like 6 minutes longer. And there was a couple scenes where he was like, I could turn invisible. I'm going to take my pants off. And then they're like, whoa, his dick. And I can only assume that that's what the unrated part
Yeah.
was.
I've never seen it, but I can also only imagine that that's what it was.
Yeah.
There was really no other points where it could have got raunchy.
Right, yeah. Like, there was no, like, sex scenes or...
And it certainly wasn't the language.
the language
that
or the
bothered him.
violence. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize how little I've had to say about this movie. I would give this movie... Should I use Roger Ebert's
Oh, we always do.
scoring
Yeah,
section-
of course.
Scoring... So
There's no other way, you freak.
Roger Ebert, God rest his soul, is a crazy person who rates movies out of 4. Not 5 or 10, but 4. So I give Paul, considering the genre and time period it came out, I'm going to give it 2.5 out of 4.
Okay, that seems fair.
And now if I want to truly emulate Roger Ebert, I'll say something like, this movie reminded me of how once when I was a kid, I played that game where you balance nickels in between the sidewalk or whatever. Because he just always is like, this random thing that I've always thought of, I finally get to put it in a review. What movie did I see? Oh, yeah, it was just Toy Story. All right, here it comes, hot and fresh. You want the song?
Oh, yeah, you haven't done it in so long.
Have I not?
No.
Oh. Hang on, let me get the pipes.
Oh, he's got his
Warmed up.
his water bottle over there.
The problem is I always start too high. So maybe I'll start super low this time.
Yeah, go for it. Switch it up.
He wrote a review, and then he wrote some more, and then he wrote too many. It's Roger Ebert reviews. That was actually the perfect note to start it on.
Yeah, that
it
was
started
really
as a
good.
joke, and then it wasn't. Aliens, starring Sigourney Weaver.
Ooh.
That came out.
I've seen. Oh, Alien. No, I've seen Aliens.
You have?
I don't really remember it, but I've seen it.
Have you? You're sure it was Aliens and not Alien?
Yeah, I've seen both.
Oh, you've seen both?
I've at least seen the ending of Aliens.
Okay. Okay. The get your hands off her, you bitch,
Yeah.
in the mech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the mech.
All right, well, this is Roger Ebert's July 18th, 1986 review of Aliens. Roger Ebert gives Aliens, starring Sigourney Weaver, 3.5 stars out of 4.
Ooh, okay.
Spoilers for Aliens. The ads for Aliens claim that this movie will frighten you, as few movies have, and for once, the ads don't lie. The movie is so intense that it creates a problem for me as a reviewer. Do I praise its craftsmanship, or do I tell you it left me feeling wrung out and unhappy? It has been a week since I saw it, so the emotions have faded a little, leaving me with an appreciation of the movie's technical qualities. But when I walked out of the theater, there were knots in my stomach from the film's roller coaster ride of violence. This is not the kind of movie where it means anything to say you, quote-unquote, enjoyed it. Did they really advertise this as a horror film?
Well, and I know you've got a lot to say about this, and I think you're right. The first one being a true blue horror film.
Yeah.
They probably figured, oh, well, we'll get the horror fans, and then when people find out it's really an action movie, we'll get those people too.
Yeah. I guess that makes sense. Aliens is the sequel to the very effective 1979 film Alien, but it tells a self-containing story that begins 57 years after the previous story. First timer. Oh, I don't need the plot of Alien. We all know of Aliens. The movie gives us just enough setup to establish the character and explain the situation. Then the action starts. The colony has, of course, been overrun by aliens, all except for one plucky little girl, played by Carrie Henn, who is survived by... Wow, he's just telling me the plot. I don't care about the plot. I want to know how you
That's not a
felt it.
review.
It's here that... Oh, hang on. The movie escalates into a nonstop war between humans and aliens. It's here that my nerves started to fail. Aliens is absolutely painfully and unremittingly intense for at least its last hour. Weaver goes into battle to save her colleagues, herself, and the little girl, and the alien drops from the ceiling, pops out of the floor. Oh, he... in his old age, is not enjoying the intense action that James Cameron is bringing to the cinema.
Sounds like Ebert pissed himself in the theater watching Aliens.
I don't know how else to describe it. This movie made me feel bad. It filled me with feelings of unease and disquiet and anxiety. I walked outside and I didn't want to talk to anyone. I was drained. He always sees who's friends with EB.
I don't know.
He's always going to the theaters with people, and I appreciate that. It's like, hey, person I haven't gone to the theaters with in 2 weeks. I'm Roger Ebert. I get free passes to the movies. Want to go see Aliens?
I mean, I'd go see a movie with Roger Ebert, especially if he's paying.
I walked outside and I was drained. I'm not sure Aliens is what we mean by entertainment. Yet I have to be accurate about this movie. It is a superb example of filmmaking craft. So he hated it, but he gave it 3.5 stars because he likes James Cameron, I guess, because he says James Cameron has been assigned to make an intense and horrifying thriller, and he has delivered. Weaver, who is on screen almost all the time, comes through with a very strong, sympathetic performance. She's the thread that holds everything together. The supporting players are sharply drawn. The special effects are professional. I'm giving the movie a high rating for its skill and professionalism, and because it does the job it says it will do, I am also advising you not to eat before you go see it. So it sounds like he hated it, but he was like, well, that was a movie, so he gave it 3.5 out of 4.
That's so strange. No, it sounds like for the first time he respects that. Why can't he apply that to every style of film? He accepts that it wasn't for him,
right?
In that it is what it is, and for what it was good.
Which you said it in the Pokemon review. He comes to terms with the fact that like this movie is not for me, but he does so after shitting all over Pokemon and Pokemon, like the culture it was trying to build up for like 4.5 long ass paragraphs.
No, I mean my psychological synopsis.
No, this is my favorite part.
I know it is. It continues to shine true. You have a respected director. You
amazing cinematography.
Have amazing cinematography.
Realistic special effects.
Right. And it's not a children's movie.
Right.
Therefore, even if he doesn't enjoy it himself, he will show it at least the basic respect it deserves.
Yeah.
He refuses to acknowledge children's movies as being anything but garbage.
You know what? Since we got time, since Paul was, good, but there's nothing really to go on, you want to rip off another one? You want to do a low-hanging fruit children's film Roger Ebert review?
Sure.
What are you thinking? Got anything in mind? Rugrats Go Wild?
Did he do Rugrats Go Wild?
Yeah, we already read it. Not on the podcast, but...
Oh, we haven't done it on here, but
No.
we've read it? Then yeah, throw it out there.
We did that one a while ago. But now I've learned now that other people on his review site write it, so maybe it wasn't him. What is it called? Rugrats Go Wild? Why wasn't that movie just fucking called Rugrats Meets the Wild Thornberrys?
I mean, that would make more sense.
It would get me in the theater, which it didn't. Rugrats Go Wild, Roger Ebert. Just finish the word. There you go, Google. You figured it out. Yeah, no, he did do this one. I forgot. Oh, man, there's no reason for him to do this one. All right, Roger Ebert gives Rugrats Go Wild from 2003 2 out of 4 stars.
All right.
So that probably means he absolutely hated it.
It's tough to tell. That's a solid half in his crazy review system.
The older he gets, this is how he starts the fucking review. In the movie, the Pickles family go on a cruise. Not on the magnificent ocean liner that's pulling out as they just arrive at the dock, but on a leaky gut bucket that soon runs into trouble as the movie sails into quote-unquote perfect storm territory with a wall of water that towers above them. So right away, he's forgot how to format his reviews. You don't start with a summary of the movie plot.
Right.
And he also, like he always has compared this kid's movie to an adult movie, Perfect Storm.
Mm.
Yeah, I know. Ooh, what does he say about Finding Nemo? Certainly, this is not a film an adult would want to attend without a child, unlike Finding Nemo, for example. It doesn't play on 2 levels, just on one. Shrill, nonstop action. That doesn't mean it lacks humor and charm, just that it pitches itself on a level of the Nickelodeon show instead of trying to move it beyond the target audience. That's what I think anyway. But as an adult, I am qualified to judge... Sorry. That's what I think anyway. But as an adult, am I qualified to judge this film? Not long ago, I, and 80% of other critics in America, disliked Eddie Murphy's Daddy Daycare. Once again, stop comparing the film you're reviewing to other films. Just talk about the film you're reviewing. Only to be reprimanded by... Oh, he's talking about other critics. It looks like he got in an argument with other critics who really liked Daddy Daycare. Oh my god, his grandson! Oh my god.
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay. I offered the guy I got in a fight with a list of dozen other films his kids would probably like infinitely more, and that also would perhaps challenge and enlighten them instead of simply bludgeoning them with sitcom slapstick. But on the off chance he was right, I took my grandsons Emil, age 9, and Taylor, age 5, along with me to Rugrats Go Wild, and afterwards asked them to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I stopped talking
Hold
because I
on.
knew that was going to trigger you.
Okay, I had like 3 things I wanted to say. I'm sure whoever's listening heard me. I had like, oh.
Yeah.
But no, you stop.
Okay, the phone is down. We're just talking, you and me. It's a safe space. It's just you, me, and the 3 people listening.
Why? Why does he acknowledge that 10 is the proper amount to rate a film?
Do you want to know why? Because his grandson, his 9-year-old grandson would say, "Hey, Grandpa, you're a fucking psychopath." If he said, "So out of 4, how did you like that movie?" And the grandson's like, "I think it was like a 2."
Here's the thing. Let's assume that when he started this back in 1827, that, counting out of 10, like, judging things wasn't normal, 10 or 100 or 5, and he was like, I'm going to pick 4.
Right. No, that's what it's got to be, right? Either he started writing reviews before 5 and 10 was the normal thing to do,
Yeah.
or 100, or he saw that and he was like, I'm going to be different.
Well, here's my point. Either it was before that was the norm, and then when it becomes the norm, you change with the times,
Yeah.
Ebert.
Yeah.
As does cinematography, as does, everything.
Like,
you evolve.
This website is, as we've already established, not what he wrote his reviews on. He wrote them for newspapers,
Right.
and someone has archived them onto this website.
Right.
You could have just, no one was stopping you from,
He wasn't going to get fan mail that said, why'd you stop doing it out of 4?
Right. Or even what I was going to say is, there's no way the newspaper company was like, well, hang on, bucko.
Right.
You did it out of 4. You're going to die doing it out of 4.
Right.
And he was like, yes, of course.
And if it was that he acknowledged that 5, 10, or 100 was the norm and he decided, well, I'm going to do mine out of 4, then fuck you, Ebert.
What were the other things you were going to say? Or have you completely
I
lost them?
kind of forgot.
He was talking about Daddy Daycare, and he compared
Before
it to that. Finding Nemo. Unlike Finding Nemo, there's nothing for parents to like.
no, there was just, he acknowledged the fact that maybe he shouldn't even be reviewing this film.
Yeah.
And it's like, who, especially at this point in your career, it seems like nobody's making you review this
right.
movie.
Literally,
which is something we've talked about before, but
first
he
sentence,
finally said it.
First sentence of the 3rd paragraph. That's what I think anyway, but as an adult, am I qualified to judge this film? That
No.
should have been the end of the review.
Yeah.
I've been Ebert. Peace. This is Ebert signing off. They both put it out of 5, by the way. The kids.
Out of
10.
okay.
Not as much fun as the TV show, said Emil. Angelica didn't get to do as much funny stuff. What did they think about the Pickles family meeting the Thornberrys? They were unmoved, not to say indifferent. He analyzes everything.
I don't think that's how those kids responded to him. Then again, they are his grandkids, so maybe they did.
Maybe they're just as weird as him.
Yeah.
Although, just kidding. You're totally cool. You're my number 1 as a guest on this show, Emil. Hit me up.
We're still waiting.
We're still waiting for that
He's
reply.
gonna kill you, I think, specifically you one day. Hey, here's the thing. I'm psychoanalyzing his grandfather, and that's,
I'm sorry. We have to
what do
jump
you
back
got?
into this review. It's bonkers. It gets into some shit, dude.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just going to start reading. It's so rare that I do this. Oh, we are only 2 paragraphs away. Perfect. My own feeling is that the film is one more assault on the notion that young American audiences might be expected to enjoy films with at least some subtlety and depth and pacing and occasional quietness. That's a run-on sentence. The filmmakers apparently believe their audience suffers from ADD. He's hitting all... This is great. He's hitting all the, don't make fun of people who have ADD.
Yeah.
Don't make fun of people who have a disorder. Don't compare your movie to other movies. Don't review kid movies. This one has all of it. And so they supply breakneck action and screaming sound volumes at all time. The younger viewers may have developed ADD from a diet of this manic behavior on television is probably a fruitful field for study. Oh, that younger. I'm sorry. He worded that so weirdly. All right. Do you remember the 90s? You remember the early 2000s?
Oh, yeah.
Note. He literally, like, that was the end of his review. This is an add-on. So, like, the word note with a colon. The movie is presented in Odorama. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
You, like, bring a scratch and sniff pad into the movie
that
theater.
for this film.
Yeah. And you, like, it flashes, like, an onion on screen. You're like, oh, time to scratch the onion and sniff the scene. This movie is presented in Odorama at most screenings, including the one I attended. Audience members were given a scratch and sniff cards with 6 cents keyed to numbers that flashed on the screen. We can smell strawberries, peanuts, tuna fish, etc. You listed 4 of them. List the other 2. Scratching and sniffing, I determined that the root beer smells terrific, but the peanut butter has no discernible smell at all. The kids around me seemed pretty underwhelmed by this relic from the golden age of exploitation, which was last used by John Waters with his film Polyester from 1981. What the hell is he talking about?
Scratch and sniff was used in movies back in the 80s?
I guess what he's hinting at, I only have what he just said to go off of. I guess they tried this in the 80s with adult films, and people were like, no, fucking get this shit out of my face. And so they tried it in the early... Because I remember it from when we were a kid.
Yeah.
They literally, like, I think it was... what's that shit? I think it was Go-Gurt, who, like, you buy a Go-Gurt, you get a SpongeBob scratch and sniff thing, you watch the TV show, it flashes the picture. I remember doing this in my own home. I didn't know they implemented it into adult cinemas in the early 80s.
That's weird.
And that's his 2 out of 4 star review of Rugrats Go Wild.
Here's the thing. I'm going to be real for a sec.
Oh, yeah.
At the end of the day...
This podcast got everything.
Yeah.
Philosophy, aliens.
At the end of the day, I can't say he's wrong on most fronts. It's just, why was he even brought into the arena is what I poke fun at.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's a bad critic. I feel like I do this a lot. I feel like I backpedal a lot, but I just want to make it clear. I'm not saying he's a bad critic.
No, neither
I'm
am
not
I.
saying he's an idiot.
I'm...
It's just, why are you doing these films?
No, that's the thing. He's obviously done something right, you know?
Yeah.
There's a reason people call him the world's greatest film critic, the world's most prestigious, greatest film critic. But, like, it's just his habits, you know? I've read enough reviews to know of this guy's habits, and literally, like, that review was a perfect example of, like, he hit every note that he always hits. He compared the movie to another movie. He talked about his grandson. He made fun of a disorder. He hated it every second of it.
Yeah. No, the only... As far as my actual real-life, don't watch a kid's movie complaints I have about him is, why out of 4? That's the only actual
No,
complaint
that's literally
I have with
like
him.
I use these words a lot to like make jokes, but like that's literally psychotic. Like nobody does that.
If it's just to be different, then you know what, you need a better gimmick. That's just dumb.
Yeah.
Guess what? I guess, you know, there's so many movies that could be rated, you know, that are so much better than others, and they're both probably rated 2 in his book.
Right.
You know what I
yes,
mean?
No, yes. That's the problem you run into with such a small scale. Because it's not that, obviously, step 1, 4 is weird. Do 5 or 10. Now that we're past that, 4 is too little.
Yeah.
Like you said, like when your scale is that low, like that's why he does 0.5. He had to break his own thing
Oh, he
just
has
to make to like 8 or 9 different points of judging a film.
Right. And
'Cause
even
it's like-
that's
'cause
not really enough.
Because I bet that's literally like the problem he ran into, where he was like, "Shit, well, I gave Finding Nemo a 2.5, but I really liked it. But I hate this one, but I kind of want to give it a 2.5. You know, shit like that."
Right.
I'd go as far. Alex and I talk about this all the time. I'd go as far as to say that 10 is the perfect number. Like 5, I'd say 5 is way too small.
I would say 10 is good. 10 with decimals or 100 for me.
Yeah, no, I do. When you say decimals, you mean like 0.5.
Yeah.
You're not. I'm not gonna. That's a whole different level of psychosis where you're like, I think this was a 9.8, and it's like, please no.
Yeah,
Just do
I mean
0.5 or 0.0.
either. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Also, we're never told what it's scaled on. Like, what gets the points? Is it cinematography? Is it writing? Is it
Right, because he hated Aliens,
Effects?
he gave it a 3.5.
right?
So he must have some sort of secret scaling system that he uses like behind
Or
the
he
scenes.
just tosses a coin or something at the end of the movie. No, but you know
Did
what
I
I
like
mean?
Aliens? Ding!
if-
I guess I did like
if-
Aliens.
If I would right,
And then he writes the review apropos of that
yeah,
coin
he's
flip.
like, well, I didn't want to like it, but
That's a really good theory. That'd be perfect.
no, but like, what was I gonna say? If I was scaling movies for real, I mean, I know sometimes we do it here, but it's just kind of we're not getting paid to give reviews of movies. We're just dicking around,
Right.
and trying to make good we're entertainers. We're not paid to review stuff.
Right.
But if I was doing a review, I'd explain how I got to that number. Some way or another, I'd explain why it got
Yeah.
the number it got.
And like, if he did do that at some point, you kind of have to do it every. Oh, you mean on a movie-to-movie basis?
Yeah,
Like,
if
I
I'm
see.
watching this movie and I give it this number, I'm going to explain to you why it
Right,
got that
yeah.
number.
Because if you don't, I'm left confused, which I am. Like, he shits on Aliens, but then he gives it a 3.5,
Right.
and
Why did it get
we're
a
missing,
3.5?
Yeah, we're missing the conversation of like, so you did like it?
He vaguely touched on it. It sounds like the effects in the movie's impact
Yeah.
was why it got a 3.5, but tell me that's why it got a 3.5. If you're going to review and you're going to give grades, then explain to me why it got that grade.
In 1827, when he was just starting out,
Yeah.
do you ever think this happened where one person's like, hey, did you hear about Roger Ebert? And then the other person says, oh, you mean the guy who does movies out of 4? Because it feels like that's what the point was, to be like, I'll be different so people remember me.
Right. But like just dumb scale. That's my one real life complaint about Ebert is
Yeah.
just bad scale.
When we started this whole, like, we should do an Ebert review every podcast thing, I didn't think it was going to be just, like, so fun to psychoanalyze him.
Oh yeah,
I didn't think that would be. I thought we were just going to be like, look at the funny critic.
I mean, well, it's interesting because he's actually world renowned for being a critic, and we're over here like, that's fine, but why did he pick some duds? Not even some duds, but why did he? He's a king slaughtering peasants, you know? Like, why'd you go for the kids' movies?
Yeah, why do you...
In your late age. Like, nobody told you to do that.
Yeah.
There was no reason for it.
Yeah, that's the thing, like...
Nobody's telling you what to do at this stage in your career.
Right, that's the thing. It's the timing. When Pokemon, the first movie, came out, there was nobody above him. There was nobody who was like, you get out there and you review that movie. He, like,
Right.
definitely did it because he wanted to shit on it.
Yeah. And I know we say this a lot, but it's just... Somebody leave a comment and give us an answer, and maybe we'll stop talking about it.
Wait, an answer to what?
Why he reviewed so many kids'
Oh,
movies in
yeah.
his late age, and
No,
like,
he just... I think
were they just
he-
easy?
I think what happened probably is that he wrote for a newspaper, so he did a review a week, right? Let's say he does a review a week. Then he gets old enough where he doesn't work for the newspaper anymore. He just is everyone's favorite film critic, Roger Ebert, right?
Right.
So then he reviews whatever the hell he wants.
Right.
So now that he's unhinged, he's reviewing every single movie ever, and he's bound to hit some kids' movies.
Right.
And he's in the mentality of like, well, if I'm going to do action and horror and romance, I might as well do kids and comedy and musicals, and you know.
Except it sounds like he wasn't fitted to do those.
No, it sounds like he knows that he wasn't fitted
Right.
to do them. Because
But he's like, but here I am.
every time he sees a movie that's a little too weird, he's like, I don't think I was supposed to review this one. Anyways, here's my 6-page review of this film. Hope you enjoy, but you won't because I didn't.
Oh, man. I just
Yeah.
don't know.
Closing thoughts about Roger Ebert.
More research needs to be done.
You sound like the fucking Splatoon commercials. All the Splatoon commercials are like, we found a new experiment or whatever the fuck. So in summary, Paul was pretty okay.
Yeah.
Go watch it if it's the only one you haven't seen.
Yeah, if you're Simon Pegg, Nick Frost fan, yeah, it's the only one you haven't seen. Watch it.
Simon
it out.
Pegg and Nick Frost are in Fable 2. No, Fable 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they play spoiler alert, it's like a C plot, but they play generals in the army.
Okay.
And actually Nick Frost's character, I believe, gives you the tutorial on shooting in that game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then the town that they're stationed in explodes and they both die and they become ghosts
Good.
that come talk to you and stuff. It's a star-studded game, Fable 3. Michael Fassbender. Anyways, I've been Thunder.
I'm Lightning.
He made sure to clear his throat directly into the mic. Thank you, Simon Pegg, for the movie. And thank you,
Ebert for the laughs.
Thank you, Ebert, for the lulls and for the odor. And we'll see you next time.